M. Fletcher Brown here with a good friend. She's been here once before, but the last time she was here, we didn't get her in our YouTube channel. We didn't get her in our artist video blog section. So I got her back down here. She's actually playing a show in town today. So, convenient. We're going to get her back in here. We're going to get her in the artist video blog section. Please welcome, all the way from the great state of Ohio by way of Nashville, Tennessee, Erin Stoll. How are you, Erin?
Hello, I'm so good. How are you?
I
I'm
am
so excited.
I can't believe we had you in here last year and didn't get you in on our YouTube
Well,
channel.
it was so last minute. I
It
think
was.
that's what happened.
hmm
It was.
But no, you had a big year last year. Hang on, let me get my notes. Okay, you had a really big year last
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
2024, you moved to Nashville, first of all.
Yes,
All right.
October.
You had a #1 single in Canada with Country Girls Do It Better, which was the single that you came here on
Yes.
last spring when you were down here. You've won like International Singer-Songwriter Awards.
Nominated.
Nominated.
Won a Josie for
Won the Josie,
best
that's what it was.
country rock, southern rock song for Country Girls Do It Better.
hmm
Yep.
And you were nominated Entertainer of the Year. Was that for the ISSA?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Entertainer of the Year. So you had a huge 2024.
Yeah, yeah.
What did
It's
you do?
crazy.
Now you're not new to music. You've been playing country music and singing in and around Ohio where you grew up. You've been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
What happened last year that just made 2024 the year of Erin Stoll? What happened?
Well, I can tell you. So I actually got let go from a corporate job. I've never been let go from a job before in my entire life. This actually happened. That wasn't last year, but it was the year before. But I decided to go literally 110% all in.
hmm
So finally decided, okay, I had written these songs like a couple years ago. So finally decided last year, I'm gonna come down here, gonna record it, gonna make it happen. And so I did.
All right.
So I did. And then everything just kind of took off last year and met this cat over here,
Okay.
Caleb Storie,
You'll meet him.
in April. He's from here, from Alabama. And
hmm
just hit the ground running and didn't look back. And we moved to Nashville in October and recorded an album. So I have an album coming out. It's just been
Wow.
crazy.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you who are new to Erin Stoll, let's rewind a bit. Let's start in Ohio, little bitty town in Ohio. And I love it because this happens actually more than I care to admit, but it's not uncommon for an Ohio kid and a Michigan kid. We know why that's significant. You probably don't. But to be sitting here and having this conversation, and I always enjoy it when, musicians, artists from Ohio come down to visit. But what part of Ohio did you grow up in?
But so Northeast Ohio. So I
hmm
was from a little town called Wadsworth, and then
Ooh.
I moved to a little village called Lodi, not too far from Wadsworth.
hmm
So just in that vicinity. But Cleveland's the home of rock and roll, so
Yeah,
there's
well,
good music there.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is there.
But yeah, that's where I grew up.
All right.
Oh,
So,
Wadsworth.
well, then what drew you into country music? Was it the singer-songwriter aspect? Because you kind of lean singer-songwriter Americana.
Yes.
You kind of lean in. I mean, now you can do some mainstream country. Country Girls Do It Better is that's a country radio mainstay right there. I
Yeah.
mean, that's obviously, for,
Yeah.
country music like down the middle. But you actually get really off into the singer-songwriter and Americana kind of feel. You're comfortable going from seriously from country to indie rock. Is that like your Ohio roots, and everything that you were raised around?
Yeah, I think so. My parents listened to all sorts of music. I mean, lots of rock and roll, lots of old country. So I think the two combine. And yes, just, growing up around country and the rock scene,
hmm
just kind of inspired me to get my sound and go one way or the other. I can pretty much do anything at
Yeah,
this
well, I mean,
point. So
being versatile as an
yeah,
artist is not
yeah.
a bad thing.
Yeah, and I didn't start out songwriting at
hmm
all. I actually didn't pick up my first guitar till I was 20.
Mm,
So
okay,
yeah, yeah. And
so you just kind of soaked it all
I
in,
did,
and then as an adult said, "I'm gonna
did.
do this," and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
exploded for it.
And I've always sang. I've always, done the musicals and did the voice and I didn't do America's Got Talent, but all the other ones, X Factor,
hmm
was in some jam bands, some rock bands, and
Oh,
then
okay,
finally in 2016, I was like, I need to do my own thing.
all right.
So
And you started playing like around like your little town, in Ohio
yeah.
you're from, and other places. But last year you decided to pick up your family of five, is it?
So we brought the two kids down. My 18-year-old still in Ohio, finishing
Oh,
up school, but then he'll be down when he graduates. So
stay in school.
stay in school.
hmm And so the families moved down to Nashville.
Yeah.
And you moved down to Nashville and you started hooking up with people. Now, did you hook up with Scott Sachs before or after you got to Nashville?
Before. So I've known Scott Sachs since 2016. I
Okay.
had no idea who he was. I had hired him through a manager at the time that came into the studio in Nashville and just documented me making my first EP. And so we just stayed in contact ever since then. And, you know, he did a couple of music videos for me earlier last year. And then after I recorded more music, he was like, I know you want to do an album, but I'd love to, you know, help you make the album of a lifetime. I said, that is a dream come true.
Okay.
So,
and now the single, Load Your Truck and Leave.
Yes.
That one, you and Scott co-wrote that, or
Me
you
and Caleb Storie.
Okay, you and Caleb
Yep.
co-wrote that.
Yep.
All right, but Scott produced it.
No.
No.
So Kenny Royster.
Oh, okay.
So Kenny Royster
Got so
produced.
many names.
I know. So Kenny Royster actually produced my Spread My Wings.
Okay.
Country Girls Do It Better.
Okay.
Then I met Caleb Storie over here in April of last year, and I had to scoop him up as my guitar player and co-writer because he's so good, so talented. So we wrote that song together, Load My Truck and Leave, and Burnin' Bridges, which is another single that we released in October of last year. But Kenny Royster also produced both of those songs that we wrote.
All right. So let's
So
talk
much.
about, since that's the single, let's talk about Load Your Truck and Leave. Now, if you listen to it, you probably will get that sort of like, oh man, I kind of get this. You know, it's like you're talking about it from the perspective of a person, like I'm born and raised in Ohio, but you know, my heart's kind of somewhere else right now, and I want to go there. I want to go there where this place where, you know, the rhythm of my heart beats in time with that. And you mentioned Alabama like 5 or 6 times in the song. And I guess that's Caleb's influence, you know, being an Alabama boy, you know, which is fine. We're good with that. But tell us, you know, from your perspective, you and Caleb, if you want to like swing around here,
Come over here.
talk to us a little bit about where that story came from.
Well, I met Erin, like we said, on the Hope Fest thing, and you know, we obviously hit it off and worked together pretty well and sang together well, and we ended up doing a gig at the Boiler Room.
That's
and
fun.
so, you know, we just kind of got to talking like, well, you know, it'd be cool to work together. And a few days later, we were just kind of talking back and forth. She had already gone back, but she was like, I have this like idea for a song. And so she told me the idea, which is basically what you just said, you know, like, I feel like I'm supposed to be down there. So I kind of put some stuff together on the piano with it, and we got back together, and it was like, all right, well, we're gonna go record it.
Finished it.
And you guys have been collaborating since last year,
Yes.
since then. So like, and it's just been, has it produced everything that you hoped it would, that you thought it would? I mean, has it
And more.
really
I would
borne
say,
fruit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
All right.
There's so much more we're gonna do too.
Yeah.
And you're even touring together because you have a show like here in town in Florence today, right?
Yes.
Tonight,
Tonight.
at For the Record down in East Florence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
The songwriter. I don't know what other word to use besides
It's
that.
like a
songwriter.
singer-songwriter sound-off. There's 3 featured artists, and then the musicians, local artists that want to get up and kind of show off their talent will get to sign up and come up in between the main acts and showcase their talent. It's pretty cool.
All right. So it's good to know that you're still playing here in the Shoals area.
I love this place.
I love the fact that Caleb is on your team and he's writing with you, and he's an Alabama boy. Go Alabama boys! So real quick, Erin, for the folks that have heard this and have like, I need to know everything I can about Erin Stoll, where do they go and find you on the internet?
If you go to erinstoll.com, ERINSTOLL.com, you can find everything about me. You can find all my social media. But if you look up Erin Stoll music on Facebook, TikTok, all that fun stuff, you'll be able to find me.
All right. Load My Truck and Leave is the single. If you want to hear it, call us at Kicks 96. We'll gladly play it for you. Look for a live performance with Erin and Caleb elsewhere here on our YouTube channel. And, you know, you've been here before. You're here now. And make sure you come back, okay?
I will. Thanks for having me.
All right. We'll see you next time on another Artist Video Blog. Kicks96country.com.
Get lost out in the stars that fell on Sweet Home Alabama.